بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ديرو يوم يسر يسير.
The truck bomb had been made with home-brewed explosives, packed inside industrial pipes and an old water tank, then concealed with freshly clipped branches. The task tonight for these anti-government fighters is to destroy an army checkpoint at the entrance to Syria's largest city. This is C.J. Chivers for the New York Times in Syria's Aleppo governorate. What began for these men with nonviolent protests early last year has become an escalating guerrilla campaign. Once on the defensive, these rebels, now confident and organized, say they will accept nothing short of the end of President Bashar al-Assad. This 52-man unit calls itself the Lions of al-Tawhid. It is one of hundreds of local units loosely assembled under the banner of the Free Syrian Army. The majority of the men are army defectors, though the group's founders are civilians. One man sold real estate. Another was a nurse who owned a short-order restaurant. During 5 days in August, these men allowed the New York Times to document their war. Their commander, Abdul Hakim Yassin, is a formerly clean-shaven accountant and the father of 2 young boys. Outside support is scarce. Hakim and his fighters rely on smuggled or captured firearms and makeshift weapons from local workshops. Much of the war has shifted from the countryside to Aleppo. This day was no different. After being issued weapons and ammunition, some men fell silent. The drive to Aleppo must be fast to avoid attacks from government aircraft. The roads are nearly deserted. Aleppo is a city of a few million people. Most remain inside by day, seeking shelter from shelling and airstrikes. Hakim and his men move into an apartment abandoned by a police captain who was loyal to the regime. The captain's personal possessions had fallen into the rebels' hands. Government jets and helicopters patrol overhead. Moving by darkness can reduce risk, though it is not a guarantee. Even then, ordnance can strike close, and bullets fly. On this night, Hakim was preparing to destroy a checkpoint with the truck bomb, which could open a new route into the city. Then came a surprise. Hakim's father, who had been jailed for weeks in Aleppo, called to say he had been released. He needed a ride. Hakim had long worried that his father's arrest was a trap designed to lure him from the shadows. He had expected his father to be killed or used as bait. After driving almost a half hour, they reached a rendezvous point near Aleppo. Hakim's father was there, safe.
أنا عندي 99% هذا كمين مستحيل.
ايش فكر ميني انا بخبرك هذا ما عرف ما تقدر تميز صوتي انا بخبرك اذا بدك تنقطع رقبتي
يا بابا والله صارت كثير تحت الضغط كل شيء بصير
صلي على النبي لا في ضغط ولا في شيء ابني ولا في حدا سائل ولا
بابا والله العظيم لو عرفانين احميك انت اقسم بالله ما فرقوك
تكبير الله اكبر.
Back in Tel Rifat, the fighters dropped off Hakim's father and celebrated his release. Euphoria soon gave way to work. The weapons were ready, the plan almost complete. The base had another recent arrival, Abu Halal, a prisoner. The rebels said he was an ex-convict who had confessed to killing 6 people and raping a woman while fighting in the Shabiha, one of the militias loyal to the government. Bruises cover him. Whoever had held him before this night had beaten him severely. The rebels tell Abu Halal that he will soon be freed, allowed to drive a car to meet his father at a checkpoint, part of a prisoner exchange. Though neither he nor the 2 journalists present knew it, he was being duped. Abu Halal would be driving the truck bomb, which had been rigged for remote detonation. He was not to be freed. He was to be an unwitting suicide bomber. Shortly before dawn, the rebels blindfolded Abu Halal and sat him in a pickup truck that would accompany the bomb. Near the checkpoint, he'd be unmasked, told he was free, and put behind the truck's steering wheel. Hours later, the fighters returned, dejected. The prisoner had fallen for their deception and driven to the target. The bomb did not explode. At the house of a former government official, the men cooled off in the pool.